Good morning, everyone. Thank you for joining us on this Wednesday morning. I'm meteorologist Jen Carfagno. We've got the South under major threats this morning, severe storms that have produced tornadoes, and we have, of course, those destructive wildfires that have destroyed hundreds of buildings right now. Heavy rain, damaging winds. That's the threat that we're seeing right now on the radar. So here's a look at how things are lining up. First of all, just take note of how these storms are moving. They are training basically from south here up to the northeast, and we're going to see that rain continue to be heavy at times. That's why those green boxes, the flash flood warnings are in effect. All those boxes in yellow are severe thunderstorm warnings with the strong damaging wind potential. Right now, storms are bearing down in Baton Rouge and Macomb, Mississippi. They're not necessarily severe, but there is thunder and lightning with them and some heavy rain with that. We're tracking storms now to the east of Jackson, so your threat is over, but still yet to come to Meridian, Mississippi. Huntsville, the worst of the weather is through, but now we're in the very heavy rain, so flash flooding going to be a concern. Flash flood warning out there. East of town, we have a severe thunderstorm warning, including for New Hope, Owens Crossroads, and Scottsboro, Alabama, where we've got that until 4:30 local time. Look at the rain. We've had nearly 3 inches of rain in just 3 hours. So while this area does need rain, when you get too much at once, it can still cause that potential for flash flooding. We're going to be watching that concern throughout this area up into Tennessee as well. Chattanooga, you are now under a severe thunderstorm warning. East Ridge, Middle Valley, that includes you, 5:30 local time. Damaging winds potentially up over 60 or 70 miles per hour. Potential with this thunderstorm as it tracks east, and we'll see those winds coming in behind it. As the storm tracks east, we're also watching over here towards the Athens area too in East Tennessee. Knoxville, you are also under a severe thunderstorm warning. The Gatlinburg area, Pigeon Forge, you are not under any warnings right now, but we're going to keep an eye on these cells as they track east over the next hour in that direct east. So let's take a look at what's going on here. The pattern that we are in, this upper level low still over the upper Midwest here, and that's been directing traffic for all of our weather over the past 3 days. We're going to see that continue today as we see more moisture continuing to surge north. Those south-southwest winds are still there, still bringing the moisture into the northeast. We start the day very foggy, actually, all across Pennsylvania and D.C., up into parts of New York State. The fog will give way to rain right through today. We'll see that rain coming in from the southwest, rain getting into Philly and New York by later this afternoon, and sticking for the evening commute and sticking for the tree lighting. We will see that rain out there sticking around into the New York City area. So your day might not be rainy to start, but it looks like it will be a rainy finish right along the I-95 corridor. We'll see the rain showers a bit earlier in the day further to the west. It is fairly well-placed rain. That was the story yesterday as the rain came down in the order of 1 to 2+ inches of rain, and we're going to do that again right over the same area. Southern New England and also into parts of Connecticut where we desperately need rainfall. We could pick up an additional 1 to 2 inches of rain on top of what we just saw yesterday. So that is good news for the drought here. Now, the cities of Gatlinburg and Pigeon Forge are reeling from what Tennessee's governor calls the state's largest fire in the last 100 years. Anna Vidas Rodriguez is live in Pigeon Forge and joins us now. Behind this front, that's another, and there's more rain in the forecast. So we got a lot to catch up on for the rest of this week into the weekend. Today, we're going to watch our front and the severe weather chances to the southeast as one potential. Thunderstorms in the northeast might not be severe, but the potential there into the northeast today. Then we move that out, a little bit of rain and maybe some mountain snow left behind on Thursday. Northern Maine still picking up some snow as well. Looking ahead to your Friday forecast, we see signs of our next system coming in. Another southern track system, this one bringing some rain into Texas. Watch your temperatures. So Dallas, we're going to be in the mid-60s on Friday. By Saturday, only 50, and that's it for a high, with rains moving all across the Lone Star State, moving into Louisiana, Mississippi. Rain moving back in throughout the rest of the southeast by Sunday. That includes Georgia, that includes Tennessee and North Carolina as well. And coming up this morning, the devastation we're seeing with wildfires raging in Tennessee is... And welcome back to AMHQ Early. We are continuing to track a line of storms that may turn severe in the southeast today. In fact, some warnings to share with you. We've got that as well as the latest on the wildfires burning in Tennessee. Plus, new timelines out there from these storms that were ongoing, and they were tornadoes that were on the ground as they were being warned on, and they were viewed. They weren't just Doppler radar indicated. Thankfully, no tornado warnings right now lined up here along this line of thunderstorms. It has weakened overnight, as often is the case. Couple of areas to watch right now in East Tennessee, where we've got the severe thunderstorm warning still ongoing and some flash flood warnings that we'll share with you. But let's make our way up along this line of thunderstorms. We've got Baton Rouge with some thunder and lightning bearing down on you, some heavy rain too. A skinny line of storms tracking east right along I-20. But if you're in it, you're in some torrential rain and some winds that are gusty, maybe up over 30 or 40 miles per hour at times. We take it up into northern Alabama, where the rainfall heavy has been one of the bigger concerns in recent hours. Decatur, Huntsville, Madison under a flash flood warning. These are spots where we've picked up about 3 inches of rain. rain in a 3-hour window. Here's the one of the latest Doppler radar estimates: 2.5 inches of rain just south of Huntsville in 3 hours. And while, in general, this area needs rainfall so badly, too much at once is not a good thing. So we're keeping an eye on flooding potential. Chattanooga, Cleveland, and East Ridge, Tennessee. These communities are all under a severe thunderstorm warning until 6 o'clock. You can see these storms tracking east. We're going to be watching for some strong, potentially damaging winds up over 70 miles per hour and tracking this into the Pigeon Forge area, where we are now under severe thunderstorm warning. Right now, Alcoa, Knoxville, Lanier, 545. You are under that warning. Again, in Sevierville, 615. The warning stays into effect for you. And again, that does include Pigeon Forge as we track this line east. Wednesday forecast. We are watching severe weather chances still today in the south. And we're watching a line of thunderstorms this morning, but there may be additional storms that fire and turn severe. So we got to keep an eye on that red zone throughout the day today. We're watching for rain into the northeast here. That goes away overnight, but then we still have a couple lingering showers tomorrow. You have that upper level low that we've been tracking for 3 days now across parts of the upper Midwest here. It starts to move out, but it takes its time and still has some influence on our forecast. Behind it will be cooler. Chicago only in the 30s and on Friday, 20s for high temperatures in Fargo. Saturday's forecast shows the next system coming in. This one, another southern system, rain into Texas. Rain gets stuck for a couple of days over the south and east. By Sunday, it's spreading in throughout Georgia and South and North Carolina. Tennessee gets some rain chances spreading all the way up into the Ohio Valley. We'll keep an eye on the back edge of that for any wintry mix, including places like Chicago. Winter storm Blanche is starting to move out of the northern plains, but this storm is far from over.